are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. Just remember.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the All-Pro Sim Super Late Models qualifying getting done here now. Just the driver meeting underway, and I am excited to be bringing you the first quarter championship here, brought to you by Madison International Speedway and Midwest Tour TV. I am James Riles, and in with me in the booth is Mr. Matt. Matt, how are we doing?
It's quarterfinal championship time. That's how I'm doing. And we're, out of all the places to have it, right, James? Where are we at? Richmond. Great track. I think this is going to be an exciting race. You're going to see some really good momentum, some high-flying speeds out of these race cars here at this facility tonight. Some of the best in the business in the field. Getting ready to roll off here. Heat 1, 6 drivers getting ready to kick things off. I'm locked and ready to rock. I don't know about you, sir.
Absolutely. As we take a look here at Richmond, 79 degrees, beautiful temperature, but there on the track, it's a little bit hotter, 104 degrees, so that could play into effect tonight. Going to be having a very short grid race heat for you to make sure. I believe it's usually the top 6 that get in. Let me see what iRacing is going to say about it real quick. it is going to send 2 to the feature. So 2 are going to be sent to the feature, as we'll get something up there for you. Gonna
So that's
see
a little bit of a twist.
the top 2 to the feature. So a little bit odd here, but it's going to be fun to see them battling it out. See how they get to where they're getting to go. And now, Matt, we've been watching these guys all season long, and it has been an absolute blast to see where they're at right now. But a couple drivers here really need to make this thing happen right now, as I go ahead and show you guys the points up there. And I tell you what, the only one that's really in here that needs a really good night, I don't think anybody didn't make it that's in the top 10 or 20 in points, but every position counts, and it all matters as they are going to get ready and get rolling here. 1 to go, so now we are in heat number 1. Matt, take it away.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, live on SRM, you got to tune into the right channel, smash the like button, ring the bell as Heat 1 is about to get underway. That iRacing.com pace truck out in front right now, leading this field, but it's not going to be for long. Under the lights, during the day here at Richmond International Speedway. You know this track from the NASCAR Cup circuit, but tonight we're bringing these big boys onto the big track. Look how wide that track is, James. Twice as wide, if not almost 2.5 times as wide as some of the tracks that we normally compete at. They're going to have a ton of real estate out there to work with. This should be absolutely off the chain as we get ready to kick things off here. Heat number 1, 6 drivers looking to cash in, but only 2 get to advance. This ought to make these heat racing a little extra spicy here as that iRacing.com pace truck pulls off. Avery Leonard, well, 152, he has the button, he smashes the loud pedal, and those V8s come roaring to life as we're under green in heat 1, climbing up through the gearbox. At 152 with the restart, continues to carry the momentum to 5 now. Look at Ed Papineau. He's looking to get it done on the inside as he forces it down low, rocking the bottom, hugging that yellow line, shortest distance from the racetrack. But he slides up. That's going to give the 0-1 of Papineau the momentum as he now moves to P2. Gleason Smith falls back to 3rd.
Absolutely, that's what we're seeing. Ed Papineau has made it his prerogative to get into the wall there. Caution's going to come out. Gleason Smith, no caution because no one's around. Steve Ward. That wasn't Ed Papineau. That was the Gleason Smith.
Gleason Smith went for a ride. I couldn't believe what I was seeing there, James, but hey, the show must go on. That is certainly unfortunate. As these 2 guys all up front, they are in the safe zone. Is the top 2 tonight convert, not usually a typical 6. The only 2 cars tonight make it to the main show, the big show, and that's what this race is all about. Avery continues to carry the torch around this racetrack. Ed Papineau in that 0-1 machine, right just about 3 car lengths back, mirroring the same line. And again, James, you're not really going to see, or you shouldn't see Papineau here really try to dial up the pressure on Avery, because this is a transfer race. It's all about beating the competition to the transfer spot, and they are both in it. Where the action's really going to get spicy is just behind Papineau, going back to the 2 of Zachary Beeler. This is the first guy on the outside looking in, and with the stakes on the line tonight, anything but being in the race is less than acceptable, and that's what the goal is. So look for Zachary Bueller to do whatever he can to get up there. It's Rick Ward, Gleason Smith, Steve Wright, all on the outside looking in, as we are now 5 minutes into a 10-minute time event, James.
Absolutely, 9 laps left to go in this thing. Linnerud in the lead, Papineau in the seat to get in there, and Zachary Bueller is about a second back, so that's definitely not going to be conducive to him trying to get into this thing. A second is a long time, and I know that these guys are thinking about that as they're getting this done and trying to make it into that transfer spot. But folks, this is just the beginning. We got 125 laps coming up for the feature after a little bit of a warm-up that these drivers are going to have. So stick around and enjoy cheering on your driver. We already got a Kenny Storkson says let's get some. Avery 152, who's our leader right now. Ed Papanow not too far back. I wonder if he's going to try and do anything here. I don't imagine so, especially after that restart. As we got 7 laps left to go, let's take a look at, getting the wall there as a leader.
Yeah, and he also went Christmas mode, as he blinked out there, as the 01 of Papanow was the closest he's been to the back of that 152 machine being piloted by Avery. And James, you know here, as we go on board with the 01, you start having blinking cars when it's the leader with these types of stakes on the lines. Bad things can happen as that car can come back in and literally crash the top 2 of the field. That was a big eyebrow-raising moment there for Papanow as that popped off out of nowhere.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at what happened on lap number 2 with Steve Wright as the 5 and the 61. That's Gleason Smith in that 5 machine. Just gets up into the wall and turned around. Nothing he could do, unfortunately, for both of those drivers. That's been the only incident, though, at Papanow. But look at Zachary Beeler. He's not made his way in with 4 laps left to go. This might have an opportunity to get in there. Now Ed Papanow has now got to think that he's got to get by the 152 because he does not want to be the one that gets passed and loses a transfer spot. There he goes to the inside here at Richmond turn number 3.
Yeah, he dials up the Saturn V rocket and jams the booster button. Is now the 01 Papanow knows he has to go. The 152 now in the hot seat, but look at the drive by Zachary Bueller in the 2. I mean, this guy was 3-4 seconds back at one time, and now he is fractions of an inch. He has a position, James. He's cleared. He's taken the number 2 position as we are now approaching the 8-minute mark. Does the 152 with Avery Leonard have anything left for Zachary Bueller? Is a big change up late here in Heat 1 as it looked like Ed Papanow and Avery Leonard had this top 2 locked up.
Absolutely, and then now Bueller comes in to play spoiler, and Papanow is going to get gone. He just wants to, or Papanow, excuse me, he just wants to get the heck out of here. White flag is out. Zachary Bueller cleared Linrod and kept on going. Rick Ward there in 4th, 5th, Gleason Smith and Steve Wright still hanging in there for 6th as the checkered flag is out on Ed Papanow.
That's how you get it done. Great way to start off the evening. Momentum is huge. Why not get a heat win? And that's exactly what the one of Ed Papanow did. And if you're in the 152 machine or in the 152 camp, your head has to be spinning, trying to figure out what happened there. But that's how good these guys are in this series, James. The best part about it, these guys race in real life, short tracks all across the U.S. and Canada. And it makes for one dynamic series and a great show each and every Monday night. One of the favorite broadcasts I look forward to all week, watching these guys out here in primetime doing battle, is now we get set for heat number 2. Same stakes on the line. Top 2, I believe, are gonna.
This is just a warm up.
Oh, thank you, James.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Just our warm up here, but I would love to see a heat 2, but. A little bit of a warm-up here. Let's go ahead and show the results of that heat number 1. Ed Papanow, of course, winning. Zachary Bueller in 2nd. Avery Linrod in 3rd. Rick Ward in 4th. Gleason Smith and Steve Wright there in 6th. So while those drivers get doing that, we're going to go ahead and go pay some bills. We appreciate the heck out of you for watching. Be sure to hit that like button. Stick around. Tell us about your favorite driver, etc. And we will keep you guys posted.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching right now, we just had a major snafu over here, big internet connection issue. So we're going to keep up, we're going to go put up our opening screen, but I'm going to be here the whole time. I'm going to be talking once we get this thing figured out as far as where we're going. Get joined back in, missing the first couple bits, but it is what it is, folks. I do apologize for that. So I do apologize, but we will be back just as quickly as iRacing decides to load. Right now, Aaron Hicks, Alex Papini, Anthony Donta, Austin Diamore, some of the names that we have here. I'm going to let this go, and we will be right back, folks, I promise you. All right, folks, we are back here racing. I do apologize for that one right there. Lap 6 of 125 taking over. Alex Papini has made his way to the front of this race with Corey Rogers and Ethan Wolf not too far behind him. Again, do apologize for that. Here, the Super All Pro Sim Super Late Model Championship race. Again, with me is Mr. Matt Medler. Matt, I missed the beginning. Tell me about that restart.
I would love to tell you about the restart, but I was gearing up to take over for you, and I was deep in the settings, and I did not see the restart. So I'm picking right up with you here as we're back under green flag racing. Lap 8, currently being ran right now.
A little bit of a gaggle right here in the beginning. Wally Wilson, who's up there contending. We got a car in the wall in the back. Looks like the drivers right now in that mid-pack line are trying to work their way around each other, getting comfortable around each other, but he cannot give Alex Papini that much of a lead. Taking a look at the points and where we are at right now with these drivers, Corey Rogers has the points lead with Zach Coyer not too far behind, but right now, currently, Zach's having a hard time, and he really needs to have a good race here to be able to make anything happen as far as that championship is concerned. Alex Papini, unfortunately, he's really not into it because of he's missed a lot of races. Still up in third position, which is amazing. but has missed some races. That's why he's not up front, but he's had a couple wins and a couple good races that put him in that spot. As we take a look back, the only cars that are side by side right now, the 39 of Aaron Hicks trying to pass Jaden Dahlberg as they touch. And that's kind of what we're going to look about at Richmond here, isn't it, Matt? How are these cars going to get by each other?
Well, hey, rubbing is racing. We've heard that term used forever, but that's exactly what it takes here at the short track of Richmond, which is kind of like a super speedway for these cars, if you will. But you're going to have to use the chrome horn. You're going to have to get your shoulders up in the air. You know, use the size of those doors of that race car to get moved, to get positions made on the racetrack, because these cars here tonight, this racetrack, this temperature, that track is hot, it is slick, limited tires. They don't have multiple sets like they do in the Cup Series or other sanctioning bodies of NASCAR. And when you got to go, when you're that evenly matched on the racetrack, sometimes you got to pull out the old chrome horn. But James, once you do that, you know that just opens Pandora's box and it's going to come back on you. So you better be critical and strategic when you use it, because if you do it too soon, you may find yourself on the outside looking in when the checkered flag falls. But right now, going back up to the point, so we're already 14 laps into this one. Guess who? Alex Papini in the 39, carrying the torch up 3 spots from where he started. He is the man on the move right now, leading the way here early. Corey Rogers in that 17 machine, he's up 1 spot. Ethan Wolf, Trent Smith, Wally Wilson, our friend from across the border in the 69 machine, he is up 7 spots already, James.
Absolutely, and Wally's been showing us that he can, big wreck in the back, 3 cars involved. Brett McCoy, he did not need that. You know, you talked earlier about one of the drivers that race real life. That's Brett McCoy. He's a 6-time Rockford Speedway championship. So let's take a look at what happened there to cause that out.
2x2 going into the corner here. 009. Oh, the 2 is going to get up into the 1 when that car is loaded up, and it's light. Takes just a little bit of contact there to turn that car around, and that's exactly what happened. And I believe everyone washes up to the outside retaining wall.
That was just Beeler had already been racing Papanow, and it just looks like Papanow slowed down a bit too much, or I'm sorry, McCoy slowed down a bit too much. He wasn't ready for it, and Beeler had been working his way through the crowd, so he had some speed, unfortunately, and then Brett McCoy got the brunt of that. Some drivers electing to come down and take tires, Matt.
Shocking. I didn't see this as a potential play this early, but hey, championship stakes on the line tonight. So you got to go big or you go home. And I like the strategy called dicing it up here early, keeping things interesting, as we're now under the second caution flag of the evening, right here in the heart of Richmond, Virginia. Great facility. Haven't been here under the lights. It's even better. The nighttime, always the right time. You know me, that's what I always say, because I'm just a firm believer of that. Pit stops being completed. Cars pulling back out onto the racing surface. Gonna have to get them re-racked, restacked. Alex Papini still continues to lead the way here in that 39 machine. Certainly one of the favorites tonight has to be Alex Papini. Wally Wilson, that man is either checkers or wreckers, it seems, sometimes out there. That 69 is always exciting, Mr. High Octane to watch, but oftentimes just finds himself on the wrong side of the deal and usually gets wadded up. But if he can keep it clean, James, we've seen it. He's usually right up there contending for wins in this series.
Absolutely, and that's the thing about some of these drivers, right? Wally Wilson has the chops to get this thing done. Usually, either he gets in his, I mean, I wouldn't say as much that he gets in his own way, but usually just bad luck strikes some folks here. As 2 to go, we are going to have a choose cone. So I can actually use my fancy smancy camera to get that up there. Just bear with me for a moment while I do so.
As James goes ahead and gets the Choose Cone, the Choose Drone cam queued up for us here. State-of-the-art technology here we're testing here at SRM, but why not show it off a little bit with the stakes on the line tonight as that field continues to file that Chevrolet Silverado around the racetrack under caution again for the second time this evening, involving a 3-car incident. However, casualties were minor. No one was glued to a suspension. Everyone continues to march forward here. Certainly could have been a lot worse, though.
Yeah, it looks like Brett McCoy, the biggest loser there. He's still stuck in that pit lane. And again, when we show you guys the points here, Brett McCoy was one of those who in 13th position. Just unfortunate for him to be right now stuck there. So Papini chose the bottom line with Corey Rogers and Ethan Wolf. He gets a huge jump out of that Geico restart zone. Corey Rogers 3 wide. Wally Wilson gonna take the bottom into turn number 1. Gets into the 112, causes an incident. That's what we talked about. 4 wide now behind him. Everybody checking up. The 3 still in the wall.
And we're still under green. Incredible. As we continue to march forward after I thought was certain disaster, as we went 3 wide into 1 and it didn't work. Cars bouncing off the wall, the inside, the outside, and we're still under green here at Richmond. Alex Papini in the 39. Look at this traffic jam back here. Right on that 51 machine. This is where the Hornets' nest is, James. And these guys, they are fighting lights out right now like it's 5 laps to go.
Absolutely. That started all with Trent Smith. Let's take a look at that restart. And this was like right into the turn. So we're going to fast forward a little bit here. Wally Wilson, just the 112 just does not get the run that he wanted, so he comes down. And then this is what we were talking about. You just got to get out of your own way sometimes, because these drivers are not going to take kindly to that. Then the 3 gets in the wall, traffic jam from there. Gets a second little helping, and it's just, it sucks when you're up front there. And that happens. As Christian Angel, we showcased him a while back. He's going to get that thing going in the 51, hopefully, and he's rolling, but that grass just unable to, does not help out there.
It's almost worse than snow, that grass, when it's cut and it's trimmed and it's prepped like that for those decals, those overlays to be put on it. You might as well have slick tires and snow. As the caution's back out underway again, as that looked like a quicksand trap out there in the front lawn, as he could not get that race car pointed straight to save his life.
Yeah, and while this is happening, the 01 and the 69 get together. We'll see if there was any extracurriculars after this, because that looked pretty, I don't know what that was, guys. Let's how the racing was here. The 51 came down, or 61 came down a little bit, and that's what caused that. As that's good for Christian Angel. He's only going to be a couple laps down, 1 lap down currently. So that's going to help him out. Zach Coyer, Trent Smith going to come down pit road.
Meanwhile, now this cycles the 02 to the front. And I'm seeing the 02, but I'm seeing a different car number here in SDK timing and scoring. I'm going to wait a minute for that to update here.
No, that's what it is. It's the 39 of Alex Papini, but he's showing that.
We talked about this before.
Yeah, you know, sometimes these drivers, they want to do some throwback schemes or use those custom paints, and far be it from us to get in the way of that. As Christian Angel now going to get his lap back, so He did the right thing. He did not try and bring out a caution by running up onto the track and stopped. It was just unfortunate where it was with him, but luckily looks like now he's going to have the opportunity to get that lap right back. That karma paying off. He's going to get around Steve Wright and Trent Smith, but unfortunately he's going to be in the middle of this thing as it comes down, as we're going to take a look at our choose drone camera. Reminder that these drivers with 1 to go, when they get that 1 to go signal, they're going to have to choose top or bottom here. So that's what, go ahead.
It has to be a clear decision, a choose by the driver. If you're on the bottom, you better be on the bottom, and if you're choosing the top, you better be up north on the rim of the racetrack. If not, you can certainly receive a penalty for being indecisive, and that could also really hamper your chances here tonight. So while it's a great new twist, little added dynamic, you better be direct in your decision making. Otherwise, that could come and bite you as well, James.
Absolutely. So next time is going to be lane choice around. Alex Papini definitely probably maybe going to take that bottom line. I don't see any reason not to if you're the 02 or the 39 in your ticker of Papini.
Yeah, the last thing some of these drivers probably want to see early in this one is Alex Papini getting some confidence, leading laps early. This guy can be lethal, and if you give him the confidence, you give him all the he needs in that car to go out there and dominate, this is setting up for a Papini potential under here tonight at Richmond. We're still under caution. 69, 39, Wally Wilson, he's right there, James, up 10 spots now from where he started, so the 69 certainly on the move. Dalton Collins in that 95 as well, continuing to move towards the front.
Absolutely, Wally Wilson electing to take that top side.
So we re-rack him, restack him here one more time. Papini, Wally Wilson. The restart. Oh, look at this. He catches him on the snooze button hard as he just walks on the restart. That was masterful.
Yeah, a little bit of talking going on in this chat. If Wally Wilson was defending that wide run, and in doing so, got the jump by Alex Papini, and Corey Rogers now on the inside. That inside line moving side by side for second here. Wally Wilson and Corey Rogers. A couple other side by side battles going on, but this is the most important right now.
Yeah, I'll say it's important right now. And you're right, that bottom lane has the mojo. They are coming, but the 69 holding tough on the outside. Knows how important it is, this track position, to stay up front. He knows what happens when he gets shuffled to the back. That's usually when disaster strikes. And look at the fight there in the 69, working the top side of the racetrack, doing everything he can to put some pressure on the 17, but now he is going to take the spot. Does he leave enough room? No, he's going to shut the door on the 95 with the crossover. Are you kidding me, Wally Wilson? I see you.
Wow, took the momentum. The 95 unable to close the door, and Corey Rogers is hating him for that, and Alex Papini's loving it because now these two drivers for second are side by side, and they are not operating at that most effective line. So Alex Papini's just going to keep stepping it out here, as the 95 not going to make the same mistake twice, going to shut down the 17. Now he's going to be on the inside line as Wally Wilson gets a little bit squirrely here. Throws it into turn number one, and unable to hold on is the 77, or the 17, I'm sorry. As the 51 of Anthony Donta, another driver trying to get into this thing. And the 17 doing what Wally Wilson was trying to avoid, getting stuck in that top line currently. As now, look at the 95. Everybody's trying to get that track position. The 95 of Dalton Collins working on Wally.
Yeah, it's almost like next man up. I mean, one person fades, the next man fills the spot and continues to dial up the excitometer. Is the 95 now has the preferred line position, but there's trouble back on the racetrack as more cars are piling in. Caution is out, and we have multiple cars yet again involved. Here, right outside the turns 3-4 complex, there you see the 39 busting some donuts. Piloted by Aaron Hicks. The 61 is Steve Wright involved. We go back to the replay here. You see where, the Hicks gets a piece of the wall. It's going to slide down the racetrack and just clobber the side of the 3, Trent Smith, who's just holding on for the ride at that point. And that energy carries everyone up into the wall, and then the 51 and the 61 come in and make it a picnic. James, look at all the marbles up there already. So when, I don't know if you saw that, but that was a great look at the all the rubber that's been lofted to the top shelf of that racetrack. And if you guys at home don't understand what happens, that's like being on a sheet of ice if you're in the Northeast or snow. That top groove of the racetrack, those drivers get shuffled up there. They go up there. All of a sudden, there is no grip in those Hoosiers, and that'll just tear you up, carry you right into the wall. And that's because all that rubber that's flying off of these race cars, as they're ripping, 100 plus through these corners, all that rubber has to go somewhere, and it's going up to the top of the racetrack. And if you get a little too high, you get in that loose stuff, typically it is game over. Another thing these drivers have to look out for here at Richmond is we're yet under caution one more time here tonight, James.
Yeah, absolutely. And you were talking about it. You can get a really good look at it here on our pit lane cam right there in that left side throughout these turns is where you're going to see these marbles kind of generate. And yeah, perfect example of what you were saying here, that's just, I mean, that's why we call them marbles. They're little balls of rubber, and naturally your tire's not going to pick that up at speed. So definitely not something that these drivers want to get into, not something they want to deal with. But unfortunately, if you get pushed up there, that's what's going to happen. That's why that bottom lane's so important, as that battle between Wally Wilson and everybody else was happening. Dalton Collins actually got the lucky spot when that caution came out. But of course, we wouldn't be here without some help. Of course, Matt Vaughty and Matt Vaughty Designs. We appreciate the heck out of him for sponsoring this group, and we appreciate being a really awesome league owner to deal with. But more importantly here, tonight's race is brought to us by Madison International Speedway. You can join them live for the Joe Shear Classic this Sunday afternoon. You can catch all that action on MidwestTourTV.com beginning at 12:30 Central Time, which is the best time in case you were wondering. As hopefully they can, the last choose drone outing was a little bit sketchy, so they're going to try and clean that up here. Not currently, next round around. But
yeah, they'll try and debug that script on the. This time we try it again, but you're right. That was a little sketchy, not according to plan. But hey, it's new, and you just got to. It's like anything, repetition. The more you do it, the better it becomes. And still cool to have the choose cone, the choose drone out there tonight here at Richmond. Championship implications on the line, and we've already seen that convert into that high flying, high energy action out there on the racetrack early, as Alex Papini continues to lead here. That last restart, he God, everyone's sleeping. Let's see if he does it again, or let's see if the 95 is alive and Dalton Collins is looking for it.
Absolutely. So there we go, gets the jump. Wally Wilson able to get below the 95. Farther back, Tristan Swanson and the 051 of Anthony Donta. Down to the bottom goes the 95, trying to get to that left rear quarter panel, unable to do so. Now the battle is for third, as Dalton Collins has Anthony Donta on his tail. A little farther back there, the 112 of Ethan Wolf. He's trying to, he wants to get up to Wally Wilson because of that last incident. But Alex Papini now got to worry about that car in the background, Wally Wilson. These guys have mixed it up before. We're going to see how that's going to look for this one.
Yeah, there's a little bit of history there. You bring up a good point, James. Probably not the ideal candidate that Alex Papini wants to see in his rearview mirror, but that's racing, and that's what we have happening right now. Is Wally up 10 positions? He needs one more to go from deep in the field in the starting order to carry in the race lead here at Richmond. But he's got one heck of a race car driver. He has to find a way to get around, and catching him is one thing, passing him is another. If we go on board now with Wally Wilson looking out the front nose of that race car, getting a good shot. Oh, someone's around. Oh, the 11's gonna come in and just crush the safety way getting out of the racetrack there. The 39 is gonna flip it. I have not seen that yet. That's a first.
Take a look here, get a little bit of a interesting glitch. Said the 7 came down pit road. There it is. It's happening in front of him.
That you never want to see, especially in real life. When you hook the car, driver's side into the wall like that, sim racing or not, my heart just hits my throat.
Let's take a look. I believe this started with Randy Sargent. Oh yeah, that's the 02 Zachary Beeler, who after a really great running ended up getting into the wall a little bit. And then they just, gosh, Christian Angel involved in that one. After the fact, Papanow. Tell you who got the best of this one, who got the best view, I suppose. The best view and the worst seat, because you know it's going to have to be cleaned off, is Matt Vaughty. Saw this incident happening and then just gets out of the way there.
When you have to activate emergency contingency plan there to get out of Dodge and avoid that wreck if you can. Because, James, we've seen so many times in this series, a lot of times they don't even know what's happening until they're in it. Matt Vaughty able to scram and just get out of Dodge, like you said, and avoid catastrophe. He's up 5 spots as well, now inside the top 10, occupying that 8th position. Having a strong run here as well tonight, and has Lady Luck on his side, at least for right now. And sometimes that's what you need here to survive and be alive at the end. iRacing.com pace truck back out on the field, as we are now back to a crawling snail's pace compared to that race pace here at Richmond.
Absolutely. Now, a couple drivers have not came down pit road. It seems like there is going to be some strategery. Wally Wilson in that first position did not come down, but Zach Coyer, Tristan Swanson, and Alex Papini did, taking 4 tires after that because of the fall off there. So we'll see where they're going to elect to come back as we are coming to the Choose Drone. Now that ASA Midwest Tour, that Joe Scherer Classic, they're going to have some really fun cars there. The ASA Stars National Tour and the Midwest Super Trucks. So some good down-home racing. We love to see that. We like to put it out to you guys so that you guys can watch it. So head over to that MidwestTourTV.com and watch that racing, as here we go on the Choose Cone.
Place your bets. I want to go back to what you were saying about that live stream event. James, you said it before, our short tracks, they are dying quick, fast, and in a hurry. And this is another way to help support a racetrack by participating and watching these streams and cheering your drivers on. If you can't get there, that's one thing, but hey, now you have options, and it's a great pastime with the family. I have so many great memories as a kid, but having that opportunity is going away quick, fast, and in a hurry. And if you want to help keep these guys, give them a spot to race, get out there and support the cause as we get ready to go back to green flag racing here one more time in the Geico restart zone. Wally Wilson, Dalton Collins, they turn up the afterburner and they are gone, hauling off into turn 1. The 69 carries the torch. He is in the lead for right now with 95 Austin Collins. He has a couple different thoughts about it. They go back further through the field, and it is a hornet's nest battle for the lead up front. Dalton Collins has the position. He is on the inside. Wally Wilson, you know he's not going to give it up top side where Mama hides the cookies. And while this is going on, look who's coming into the picture. Ethan Wolf loving the side-by-side action, as now it's going to be a three-way battle for the lead.
Yeah, Ethan Wolf, you saw that earlier. He might not be afraid to take it 3 wide because that's what Wally did to him earlier. So if you're a racer, you know, you've got that short memory, but maybe Ethan, you know, to be a best racer, you have to forget about everything that happened in the past, as it looks like Ethan Smith around in that 5. And we're going to go under caution again here. Let's see what caution number we are on. That is caution number 5. So after this, I believe they're going to go to the
single file.
Yes, single file restart. So let's take a look at what happened with the 5 here. Donta, of course, he's been in the wrong place at the wrong time. Oh, that was caused by the 152.
Oh, goodness.
And the 5, just bad luck. Gleason Smith can't get right.
I mean, you want to talk about the world's worst luck caught on film? That's exactly what happened to the 5 there. He did nothing. The 152 machine gets a little squirrely there off the corner, breaks the tires loose, tries to correct it, and the car just hooks back violently on him. And the next thing you know, the 5 of Donta is just up on 2 wheels in that race car, trying to figure out what the heck has happened. As you see him now coming into his pit box there, going to obviously have to have repairs made on that race car, James, and potentially, I'm not sure if it's a contending blow, but certainly, you know, unwanted damage to that racing machine, as we still have a good chunk of the distance left here to go this evening, as we're only 58 laps into the book so far.
Absolutely. Now Wally Wilson comes down pit road, one of the later drivers to do so. Take a look at, if you will, we're going to take a look at our qualifying results, if I've got them here. I don't know if they're going to save that. Oh yeah, they will. That's awesome. Trent Smith, Anthony Donta, Dalton Collins, Christian Angel, Alex Papini. This is where everybody qualified, and then kind of where they are now. It's a stark difference as we again put up those points for you guys at home. Corey Rogers leading us around. Zach Coyer and Alex Papini trying to get up there. And because the way these points work, folks, it's anybody's game. This is 100 points to win. I believe. I'll double check the point system once I get there. But if you're within spitting distance, especially with Zach Coyer having his issues farther back, you're definitely in the chance to win this thing and have some pretty good points and some bragging rights here for Q number 1, as drivers are getting ready to choose. Is Ethan Wolf going to be your effective leader? Has not come down pit road yet. He is the only car in the field not to do so. Matt, you think that's going to play out for him?
Well, history and statistics tell me this typically goes horribly bad. It doesn't end well when you're the guy leading the race and everyone behind you has got fresh sticky biscuits on their race car, and you've been out there for 60 laps. That's usually a recipe for getting swallowed into the black hole and recycled to the back of the field in no time, James. Yeah, James is having some connectivity issues there. No problem. Show must go on. Got that field re-racked, restacked one more time. Lights are out on the pace car. Ethan Wolf is literally the one-man army right now on 60 lap plus differential tires. No problem. He says, let's send it. Let's go. Pace truck off, green flag in the air. And the 112 says, what tires? I got this, as he takes the long way and gets that car hooked up and dialed up.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my. These guys are, oh.
Somebody must have told them they're going single file next caution, so they're trying to get as much field position as they can, because that's what's going to be important once those single file restarts happen. Is, oh my, Justin Blackdeer and Alex Papini just absolutely threw it in there at the bottom. We're going to have to take a look at that restart as Papini has fresh tires. Car going to go to the bottom. That's the 152. That's going to cause an issue with Matt Vadi.
There goes the 7. Vadi in the wall, hits it hard, spins around. Caution back out on the racetrack again. As one of the big names in the series sponsor, man that does so much to help this show get underway week in and week out, finds himself in calamity corner, literally, is the 152, throws in a prayer, comes up and just high fives the 7, shoots him into the wall, up on 2 wheels, around Vadi goes, facing the wrong way as we just come off a caution sequence. We just went back to green flag racing and already back under caution again. Now, James, I get it. These drivers typically don't have this much real estate to work with. If they get put in those positions, usually it ends bad. But we got to try to remember here, we still have substantial amount of laps to go here. We're not even at lap 100 yet tonight for all intents and purposes. And you got to have a car that actually drives, you can turn it, it has brakes to contend for the win. And if we keep going 3-4 wide, this is going to be the end result each and every time. Certainly hard-working.
Yeah, let's take a look at Alex Papini. He's up in second right now. He's probably going to be first if Ethan decides to come down pit road. But take a look at this restart. A lot of space. And then it looks like just the 13 just doesn't go, just doesn't get going right. And then the 02 has no choice but to go down and pick up a couple free, easy positions. And that's how it's done when you're on the bottom. But just absolutely ridiculous heads-up driving there by Papini. I know we talk about him a lot, but it's because of stuff like this. I mean, take a look at what he's seeing here.
Great camera work here, James, tonight. We go on board, giving you the bird's eye view of what these drivers saw as it went down. You saw he didn't go. He has to go down there so he doesn't make contact. 3 wide in the hornet's nest, right off the green flag. And look at the situational awareness here by all of these drivers not collecting each other as they find a way to thread it through. You know, go looking out the back now. You got the 17 in close proximity. That's Jeremy Bingham. I mean, that's just how close. I mean, you're inches away from these race cars. You can reach out, high five them if you have the ability. That's how close the action is. But that on the other side of that coin, James, a fraction of an inch or two too much the other way, we have cars upside down and on their lid. As Matt Vadi, unfortunately, the latest victim here in the latest caution sequence, is once again that pace truck back out, getting its lease payments worth at least here tonight under the lights at Richmond.
Absolutely. Of course, you know, a lot of these guys race in real life. We've talked about it plenty of times, but you can go to your local tracks, watch some of these guys on the track. I know for a fact a couple of them race at Rockford Speedway in Chicago, or Illinois, I suppose, not in Chicago. It's actually closer to Rockford, but it is something. It's a dying breed. Of course, race car drivers, because of the way races are going and race tracks, go out there, support your tracks. As we take a look at the 01 and his nose, that last ride for Rockford, their last season this season. So another great track heading to become a housing development or a Walmart parking lot, who knows. But get out there and give these tracks your money so that they can get out there and support them. So there goes Ethan Wolf. He's going to get going again. Looks like Alex Papini doesn't have to make it as bad of a restart, because that was the last double file restart we're going to have here, folks.
Yeah,
Anthony Donta.
Anthony Donta there in that 51 machine. He is now inside the top 5, up 2 spots, side by side with the 009 of Michael Brenner. He likes running up top. He does not mind it. We've seen that over the past few weeks. And if you get yourself in a situation, you can make your car work where others can't. That's always a good advantage. As we go back to the point, here comes Alex Papini. He's going to pop ahead of the 112, Ethan Wolf. Papini's back to the point. Now look who's coming in tow, the 17 of Jeremy Bingham. And that's what typically should happen here. Unlike when Wally Wilson got put in the sucker hole, he should have at least lost 2 spots. No, he goes back and gets the spot, just like the 36 is trying to do here, getting the momentum on the bottom side. Little push from Tristan Swanson to help him make the corner, as we are stacked 2 by 2. Mayhem out on the racetrack. Look at these guys racing, trying to find every available inch on. Oh, someone's wrecking in the back hard. The 100, Tristan Swanson. Wally Wilson, others having to avoid. His caution is back out on the racetrack again. This time it involves Tristan Swanson, as something kicked off there in the back. Oh my goodness.
That was a hockey check. And then all the drivers trying to avoid.
I mean, it looked like Swanson got shot out of a hot dog bun towards the inside wall. Now we see why.
Yeah, that hip check, and then the wherewithal to lock it down saved another pile up for sure. So Tristan Swanson, this bud's for you. Good job locking that thing down. As Papini in the lead, Bingham there in second. Donta going to be your 3rd place driver. Corey Rogers and Ethan Wolf have elected to come down for their final pit stop, or their one that we're going to see these drivers take. We'll again want to shout you guys out that are watching, not only support your local tracks, but supporting these sim racers and their hobbies is awesome, and we appreciate the heck out of you for doing it. One thing you can do to help them out and all these sponsors is hit that like button. So you can hit that like button. It doesn't give us a dime. It doesn't cost you a dime, but what it does do is it puts this race out in front of some more viewers using that YouTube algorithm. So it's definitely something that is just a good altruistic act from you, and you can keep that change at Whole Foods next time you go, because you know what, you've done enough by pressing that like button.
Well said, James. And while we're talking about it, if you're new to SRM and you're thinking about joining the family, do what James said. We have high-flying, high-octane racing action 7 days a week. Oh, tomorrow's Super Tuesday on SRM. 5 broadcasts ready to kick off. If you like racing, we got you covered. So become part of the family. Smash the like button, subscribe. You'll be glad you did. Only on here, right here on SRM. Want to appreciate all you guys for tuning in tonight, as we're in championship mode, championship configuration. Alex Papini in the 39 has poised himself to put himself in the position. But can the 17 of Jeremy Bingham, Anthony Donta, Wally Wilson, do they have other plans? As there's 76 laps to go. I'm sorry, working lap 76 on the racetrack under caution. But that's all about to change here momentarily, as we get ready to go back to green flag racing one more time here from Richmond, Virginia.
So here we go. Alex Papini, pace lights are off on that pace car.
On board with Alex Papini. Cockpit mode. Seeing exactly what the driver sees here. You go on board with him. He is your leader. Sawing the wheel back and forth, getting those Hoosiers cleaned off, making sure they'll stick and rip. The last thing you want to do is spin on the restart. That's usually a one-way ticket to the back, quick, fast, and in a hurry. Is Papini. How many times does he have to master a restart here tonight? Back under green flag. I'd say he went a little early, went on race control, but we are nonetheless back to the exciting on the racetrack. Here comes the 51, Anthony Dada. He is working the bottom. That car is rotating the bottom really well right now. But look at the drive off the 17 has a Jeremy Bingham. Able to match, but now here comes the game changer. The sidewinder himself, Wally Wilson in the 69. Anytime that man is on the racetrack, you know it's about to get exciting or go up another level. It's now you have a three-way battle for that third place position on the racetrack. Is we got cars riding walls in the back. Ross Chastain, eat your heart out as they literally rode the wall on two wheels. Let's go back to the SRM replay here, see exactly what happened. The 95, oh, there's the 5 again, and they simultaneously monster truck the wall and go for a crazy ride. Cautions back out. Trent Smith in the 3. He went for a wild ride, and so did the 5. And 5's been involved in a couple incidences now here this evening. We go on board. Gonna pop off here right in front of you. Coming here down the backstretch. Barely escapes by. Inches.
Yeah, that's Tristan Swanson that just got by on that one. Trent Smith unfortunately gets up into the wall there. That's something we're seeing. These late models, that body on these late models will really flex coming into that wall, and once that rubber touches the wall, that's what propels these guys up, and that's a little bit of what we're seeing. But I want to highlight this battle that was going on with Wally Wilson at the time and just talk a little bit about what's going through his head here, because with Wally Wilson, he's trying to make a pass, right? But the guys in front of him are racing. And because Richmond is such a big track and it's so fast for these guys, Wally can't really make a move because he doesn't want to put his car in jeopardy here. He doesn't want to have to, you know, cause any issues up front for nothing, right? This is different than going 3 wide on a restart. He had the bottom, he wanted it, he took it. This is, you're not going to put yourself in their battle strictly because you know you can pick them off once it's sorted out. And of course this restart's definitely going to help them. Unfortunately, you know, they're not going to go double file because they have that 5 restart rule to try and help things out here. But I have a feeling by the end of it, of course, Zach Coyer now in there. We talked about him. Look at him, Zach Coyer right there. Corey Rogers, who really needs a lot of points tonight, unable to get it, but Zach Coyer has a good points base. But he's got to get a little bit closer to Papini, I think, based on what the racing is and how these points line out. So why don't you talk for a minute, and I'm going to go figure that one out.
No problem, man. Get her done. So like James was saying, you got to get closer. You got to get in the wheelhouse within 2 or 3 positions of Papini, really, to put some pressure on him and put yourself in position. And like he was saying about Wally Wilson there, he didn't want to put himself in that car in a vulnerable position while you have 2 other guys battling for a position on the racetrack. Don't send it in there and put yourself in a spot where you can get wrecked out when you still have plenty of time on the clock and you know you have a faster race car. And that's just a byproduct of Richmond, though, how this track is designed. It's wide, it's big. multiple racing groups here. And you have to always have your thinking cap on and always have the strategic mindset here. Is this track throws things at you quick, fast, and in a hurry. You see us going single file here, restart mode. Everyone's scrubbing the tires up as we are quickly approaching lap 90 in prime time right here on SRM. Waiting for that pace truck to pull off. The lights are out, which means it is on this time by as that field gets racked and stacked one more time here this evening. Will it be Papini? Will someone from the further on back, Wally Wilson, have something to say? We're about to find out. Green back in the air, and we are back on the loud pedal, climbing up through the gearbox. 95, wasting no time there. Look at him going to work. That man is hungry, eating on the bottom. Makes quick work of the 15. Now he sets his sights on the back of Wally Wilson. And Wally Wilson, he's on the attack now, going for the 17 of Corey Rogers there. Look how Wally Wilson throws that car in there, but he does not slide up the racetrack and make contact with the 17. That's how a veteran gets that move done right there. You see him right on that yellow line. That's textbook of how it's done there. Thanks, Wally Wilson. Showing everyone at home the right way to do it. The 17's going to get a better run there as Wally lost some corner grip there, lost some speed as we're back under caution. Yet again, as we barely get rolling. Go back to the SRM replay. See if we can find out what went wrong this time. Oh! Man, he just got a 5-alarm nose job rearrangement there on that one after he got spun around backwards. Go back, look at this one more time. The 009 just slides up and hip checks the 51 and Captain Crunch up on the top side. Oh. I hope his berries are okay in his cereal box because that was intense.
Absolutely.
I mean, that was a head-on that was a head-on collision. About 130 miles an hour.
Absolutely. Yeah, but breaking news, everybody. Breaking news on the points. I was way wrong. iRacing, for some reason, really messed this points up, and I'll blame it on iRacing because they can't defend themselves, but it's most likely me. Let me see if I can get the current point standings up. It's just, what the heck is... I don't know why the point system is iRacing really has these things jacked up. I don't know.
Well, James, that's the other side of technology, right? We love it because we're able to sit here and, you know, bring this high quality racing product to all of, you know, the series fans right here on SRM. Love what we do. But the other side, when it goes bad and it doesn't work right, it's also very aggravating. And that's just the byproduct of the industry, though, is iRacing. They'll get it right, but right now, just trying to work through the technical difficulties as best we can. For yet again, under caution. And, you know, maybe part of that, James, is just the stakes are on the line tonight. You know, this is not just a normal Monday night. Even though, hey, an opportunity to win is an opportunity to win. Tonight, it's in championship format, so that puts a whole nother level on it. And these drivers,
absolutely.
You know, and that could be part of it.
There we go. Oh my gosh, we got it up. So here's the original, here's the correct points. Corey Rogers up top with 392. Wally Wilson in second. Trent Smith in third. Weston Ward in fourth. There we go. Jeez Louise. iRacing, Or I'm sorry, probably SDK. But there we go. 392, 382, Corey Rogers, Wally Wilson, Trent Smith, Weston Ward, Anthony Donta, Jeff Dillon, Zach Coyer, Tristan Swanson, Jeremy Bingham, and Brett McCoy. So there you go, that's a little bit better.
James, I didn't have a doubt. I knew you would get it up there one way or the other because you are always clutch in these situations. While the lights are out one more time, we know the tail. Can we keep the green in the air, or is it going to be the road to the restart zone that wins the race here tonight? Gonna find out. Back under green one more time. Those V8s come roaring to life as the sun goes down in Richmond. What a restart once again by Alex Papini. But look out, here comes Wild Thing, Wally Wilson in that 69. And I mean that very respectively. That guy is just electric to watch on the racetrack. The 17, Jeremy Bingham fighting hard again on the top side. Wally Wilson will not be denied. He takes the spot. And now he sets the sights on Anthony Donta in the 51, who currently owns the second spot on the racetrack. As you can see the intensity picking up now, James. These drivers know they are running out of time if they want to dethrone Papini.
Absolutely, as here comes Coyer up trying to make his way. Anthony Donta just put down the fastest lap of the race. Something to note here, Wally Wilson put down his fastest lap that he has put down of the entire race. And also a little bit look at pit strategy. As caution is out, Corey Rogers finds his way in going the wrong direction. Let's take a look here.
That was a chrome horn. That was a bell ringer there, James. Swanson there, he's had a tough go tonight, but still finds himself inside the top 10. You slow it down here so you can get a good look at what happens here. So we got the old sandwich play, 3 wide. Swanson's the meat. You got the 1-1-2 of Wolf as the bread slices there. It's just hard to keep things calm and these cars pointed in the right direction when you have competition at those levels going into the corner. When you only have so much space, it doesn't matter how bad those drivers want to try to make it stick. You can't will it to change the width of the racetrack. It is what it is. But yet again, that's the mentality of the race car driver. Your job is to go out there and to perform, get positions, get the sponsor, everyone that helps you get it done, the limelight, the airtime at the end of the race. And the only way you do that is to get up on the wheel and attack. And I understand that, but like James was saying earlier, the veterans of this series who are coming towards the front now, they're the ones that have mastered that. It's so hard to do, especially with racing like this, as now his tempers start to boil over and patience continues to go out the window. But that's the poise that makes up the matrix of that winning formula. No one putting on a better display of that tonight than the 39 of Alex Papini, who continues to lead, who continues to dominate restart after restart, and is going to have to do it again with a very hungry Anthony Donta on his tail and the rocket Wally Wilson behind him in the 69.
Absolutely. And you know, you talked about the single file restart and everything. What that's doing is it's making this the people that are fast are coming to the front with all these restarts. They're getting their speed right quick. They're coming to the front. We've seen it with Wally Wilson. They're still racing, folks. This isn't it's not like, oh, nobody's moving because of all these cautions. No, people are moving. People are moving when they need to, and they're getting to the front, namely Zach Coyer, Wally Wilson, Alex Papini. So now, here's the deal. Alex Papini has these guys in his rearview mirror that he knows are good at restarts. He's going to have to take the onus like he always does. And once that truck comes down pit road, doesn't make a darn about the Geico restart zone. All he cares about is that truck, because that's the rules of the league. So he's got to get a good start, and he knows that Anthony Donta and Wally Wilson have been putting down some very fast times behind him. And I don't think we're going to see it as stretched out as we've seen it up to this point, because the fastest folks on restarts have made it to the top.
Well said, and that's a great piece of information, James. And I couldn't agree with you more. And absolutely right about that restart zone. That's a NASCAR thing. As the truck hits the oh my God, hits the
pavement.
The pit road. Thank you.
Even I was wrong. As the truck hits the pit road, he gets gone. But the bad thing about that is slingshot engaged. This 0.75 mile, long way around for these guys. Wally Wilson, Anthony Donta going to have to decide whether they want to get to the front or race for points here for second. And if you're Wally Wilson and the way the points are, as I'll put them back up there again, I think you just want to ride and not try and push this too much, because the only other person near you in points is out of this race. So Wally Wilson could stand to just ride exactly where he's at and not cause any issues and be perfectly fine with this finish right now. As the top three under a blanket, Alex Papini, Anthony Donta, Wally Wilson putting down their fastest laps of the race right now. Donta again putting down a fastest lap of the race, with Wally not too far behind him. The pace has not fallen off for these guys.
No, it certainly hasn't. As you mentioned, Anthony Donta, that's a 21:51, and Wally Wilson with a 21:54. So these are some of the fastest times that we've seen all race long, James. And we've talked about saving your equipment. They're turning the fastest laps now. I'm pretty certain to say that's exactly what these drivers had did, that you said have all come to the front, and now you have the cream that has risen to the top, and they are putting on a show here under the lights at Richmond. Oh, and by the way, caution's back out on the racetrack again, as the race for the lead was getting real good. Is the 152 machine involved again? This man has had a rough go here, and Avery Leonard. James, that's short track racing sometimes, man.
Just take a look. I hate. I don't know. They're jumping on this guy. I don't know whose fault that was, really. Oh, that's close.
It's so close, because
oh man, I don't know. I don't know if that's all on the 152.
That's not all on the 152. He had a huge run coming in there, and he closed the door, or slammed the door, or attempted to. But guess what? That hole had already filled up. And when you watch it happen at real time, you have a different opinion at first, but when you go on board and we dissect these incidences, that's why you see Tony, James, Dave, all the greats here at SRM bring you all these different angles, because what looks like may have been the issue or the culprit, sometimes it isn't. And that's why we spend so much time breaking these cautions down and dissecting what happened.
Yeah,
the 152 is not wholeheartedly to blame there.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't know if the 39 was gonna make that turn no matter what. I mean, as we take a look on the nose, actually, I'm gonna pause it here. I'm gonna go to the cockpit.
Again, James, your managing producer tonight, bringing you all.
I don't think he was gonna make that turn no matter what he did.
He wasn't making that turn. He was.
We'll see.
Again,
You
We'll
know,
see.
but we don't know everything here in the booth. I just calls it like I sees it, and I know the 152 has been involved in a couple stuff, so up to this point.
Yeah.
But
We're obviously taking that into consideration, but
yeah. Sometimes, you know, it's just one too many times, so you're involved no matter what. And unfortunately, I think that's what we saw there. But surely these guys, this admin group is top notch. You're going to take a look at every incident here. And have I mentioned that this is the championship for the first quarter? So definitely everything under scrutiny for these drivers. So we'll see what happens on this restart as Papini kind of has showed his cards this whole race. That's the bad thing about 12 cautions, is everybody knows that he's going immediately when that truck comes down, as the pace lights are still on, 18 laps to go, waiting for that to come around.
And like you said, James, Papini has showed everything to the world tonight that he has because of all these restarts, but yet he continues to execute and get it done, restart after restart.
Absolutely, and this is, of course, brought to you by Madison International Speedway. You can join them live for the Joe Shear Classic this Sunday afternoon, Sunday. Catch all the action on MidwestTourTV.com beginning at 12:30 Central Standard Time. They're going to have the ASA Stars National Tour with the Midwest trucks and that ASA fantastic group that they've got there with those machines. So if you're in the area, you could go Madison International Speedway. Otherwise, you can just wait here. So we're going to take a look at Anthony Danta's cockpit as he's going to watch this restart, wait for that truck to dive down pit road, and see just how close that this is going to be as Alex Papini gets those tires warmed up, ready to launch. That's what they're doing there. They're getting those rear tires, checking the grip.
You got to check the grip before you let it rip, or some would say. But nonetheless, on board with 17 laps to go. There goes the pace truck, and there goes the loud pedal through the... Oh! Big time moment there. You see that steering wheel snapping back to the left there to catch that race car. What a job there by the 51 of keeping that car pointed straight.
Absolutely. Not only are there marbles on the top of the track, now there's marbles down there at the bottom, and I think the 51 got into him a little bit. That's what Papini wanted to see when he goes through the turn that way and gets the restart. 15 laps left to go. Anthony Danta, Wally Wilson, Jeremy Bingham, and Justin Blackdeer all in that top 5. Zach Coyer not too far back. We're going to see what they can do here, as it's all about who's left in this thing and who needs to do what they need to do. Papini needs to get a win. Wally Wilson is just fine, sitting in third as the points leader coming into this thing.
And just like James says, 69 time is fine out there on the racetrack in P3. But the man that needs the win tonight, that has won every restart we have thrown at him in the 39, Alex Papini, he has been absolutely robotic on this racetrack tonight, executing, doing everything flawlessly, as all of this great talent and high level, on display here each and every week, still struggling to find the right formula to dethrone Papini, as now there are just 12 laps to go, James.
Absolutely. From here on out, it's probably going to be pretty clean, folks, because most of these drivers have left that, put it on the hauler. And these nights happen. It's not like this is outside the realm of what you see at races. Sometimes this is the way it goes. This is racing nonetheless. As these drivers get moving a little bit farther back, Ethan Wolf. I tell you what, Corey Rogers is your points leader in that 17. So Corey wants to see this thing. He can make up some points and hopefully try and get some passes here, but I think it might be too late for Corey Rogers as he tries to move through the field, as Anthony Danta, Wally Wilson still having it out. As you just got to keep your head here if you're Wally. Just you know where the points are. Your crew chief's talking to you, and he's saying just back it off, but be happy with where you're at. And try not to get it squirrely or into the wall there.
You want to make your crew chief have a mental breakdown on the pit box, do exactly what Wally Wilson did there behind the 51. And it's the battle of evils inside that race car right now. One side of Wally Wilson says, I can go up there and I can win this thing. But he's saying the brass at the table is telling me to stay right here, and it is messing with that 69. But like you said, James, sometimes you got to take the strategic safe play, and that's the smartest thing to do in the 69's camp. But as hard as it is for Wilson to stay there, still a great run, podium position in a championship event. That still says a lot about the person in that team inside that 69 camp, up 9 spots from where he started tonight.
Absolutely. Now, Wally, one of those that knows that even if he does get up there to Alex Papini will do whatever it takes within the realm of sportsmanship, and sometimes just on that line to get a win. So we know that I don't know if I ever want to be in front of Alex Papini anywhere. And even if I saw that car on the interstate, I might think twice about switching lanes, because he will go for the win, and that's what racers do. And he's definitely shown that he is a racer, and he will make it happen. Only reason he's not in contention here, honestly, for the points championship is because Papini had to take a week off to go to a real race and drive. So that's what happened there. Whoa, no, Wally Wilson's around.
My goodness, are you kidding me? Wally Wilson running in 3rd position. Suddenly something goes horribly wrong here to go back to the replay. Oh, he comes up and just clips the wall. Goes full-blown monster truck mode. 360s it, but keeps it straight. But the nose of that car is a mangled mess.
Wow. And just like that, the conversation switches to Corey Rogers. Corey Rogers and Wally Wilson 10 points apart here. As Corey, now it's Corey's race to lose, and it's Corey's championship to give away. Oh my gosh, this is a whole different ball game now, folks.
You know, we've seen these moments in sports over time, Shane, not to cut you off. Some situations like this. And do the people say, oh, it's scripted? It's not scripted. Do you... I mean, it's crazy with these stakes on the line, and we see these bizarre moments. Contending or incidents that change the outcome happen on the racetrack in a flash like that, and that's just what bizarre freak incident just happened to Wally Wilson. Is he eats the wall, goes up on 2 wheels, monster trucks it, 360s it, keeps it straight. Is somehow he's still on the racetrack. He's going to pull down pit road now, I believe, or get his lap back. But that 69 car was up on the wall on 2 wheels. It is still out there moving forward under its own power, James. That is incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. As we're going to be going to a green flag, green-white checkered here, as Wally Wilson takes his penalty going through the field there. A little bit of animosity there, unfortunately, as he is going to be effectively scored as your leader right now, but that'll change once he gets out there. Got to burn out that steam. You know, he's mad at himself more than anybody, honestly, and I don't blame him. That's a rough way to lose a race. Kind of like a football game, right? It's not about who goes out and wins the race sometimes. Sometimes people lose races.
I mean, I've certainly been in those positions. I mean, I went to go to pit road, and I was a lawn dart right into the water barrels on the entrance to pit road. I couldn't have squared it up any better if I tried. Made a complete fool of myself. And it took me a while to get over that one, so I completely understand what you're saying. And you're right. Wally Wilson probably mad at himself more than anything.
But that may have cost him a championship, because Wally Wilson would, in doing that, took himself out of contention, and he only had to get by Corey Rogers for a couple spots there. But I get it. I do get it. That's frustrating, and you get you wreck out, and then unfortunately you have to still take that black flag for causing the issues. But still good points now for Wally in 13th. But boy, I tell you, we ain't talked about him enough because it really hasn't been a factor. Corey Rogers, points leader right now.
In 7th, in the 17 machine.
Think he's gonna take the championship. Hopefully he's in the Discord because I want to talk to him.
James, I can hear it in your voice, and I'm sitting here kind of running the same scenario with you as well, just letting that sink in as this one's just about ready to expire here. There's 3 laps left in the books tonight to write our first quarter season championship. You're gonna need to have a championship winner. Like all roads led to Rome, all roads lead to Wally Wilson here tonight.
Alex
Papini, I'm sorry, thank you. Alex Papini has another miraculous restart at the point. And why not? He has been flawless. Another flawless restart once again as he's already out a half a second on the competition. Did you see that dive bomb by the 15 or the 13 of Zach Coyer? That was a Hail Mary for the spot, and it worked, and it looked great, but when it goes wrong, it is not good.
Absolutely. White flag is out. This race is official. Going to be coming around one more time. Alex Papini, Anthony Donta, Jeremy Bingham, Justin Blackdeer, Ethan Wolf, and Zach Coyer. Checkered flag in the air. Folks, give it to Alex Papini. Wins the race of attrition. And I tell you, it could have happened to anybody, and it sure did happen to a couple in the top 3. Ethan Wolf, but then Corey Rogers, your season Q1 champion. I don't know if he knows it yet or if anybody else, but what a finish.
He might not know it, but I guarantee you Wally knows it. But how about Alex Papini, the champ, the quarter season mark in the 39? And he did everything you needed to do in prime time to become the man here at Richmond. And he did everything and then some. Those restarts, 10 or 15, 16 restarts tonight that this man had to execute and be flawless on, and he did it time and time again. And each and every time he did not look back, walked out on the competition. Rightfully so, Alex Papini is your winner here this evening in the 39 machine as he's burning the house down there at the start-finish line. And while this is going on, the celebration on one side of the racetrack, heartbreak, anger, and disaster in the 69 camp for Wally Wilson as a freak incident mistake takes it from him and gives it to the 17 of Corey Rogers.
Absolutely.
James,
well, I
that
guess
is all sides racing.
Absolutely. Well, it looks like everybody is ready. We have Alex Papini in the broadcast booth with us after the war of attrition. Alex, tell us about how that car felt today.
Alex, James, Matt in the booth. You got us, bud.
There he is.
Yep, that crowd clear.
Hey, so Alex got the win today. Again, the war of attrition. Tell us about how the car was feeling.
I don't know. I mean, it was. It's absolutely disgusting. Some of these guys that are in here. We're having long talks about it. Thank you so much, Matt Vade, and everyone that's had anything to do with All Pro Sim, all the way back to the NASCAR 03 days. There's a core group of guys here that know how to race, and there's some idiots that don't. It sucks that stuff's turning out like it is. It sounds like they're going to get it straightened out. Thank you so much to Matt, Jeff Dillon, Black Deer, Coyer for everything they do for this league. It sucks that it's going like it is, but I think they're going to get it straightened out. As far as attrition goes, man, it didn't affect me much. I feel like the 02 was the fastest car here most of the day. Kind of goofed up a little in qualifying, so started third row outside and got the lead real early there and made a strategy call, just kind of seeing how it was playing out. pitted early, and I think we come from 14th there. Never touched a car. That's how you do it. Wish these other guys would figure out how to do it. We should have been done an hour ago. So thank you guys for all you do too.
Absolutely. Well, Alex, hoping to be in the points next quarter, but I know sometimes you're the dog, sometimes you're the cat, and today, Alex Pena, you came down, got in the lead, and won it. Who you want to shout out? Who you got on the car?
Well, actually, I've missed the last 2 races because we went back up north, where we're originally from, to Rockford Speedway for their final spring classic, and I was lucky enough to drive a local legends car for that race. This car hadn't finished a race, or it ran a few races, but they'd had some issues, engine issues, and whatnot. But that car hadn't run for 9 years since October of 2014. We were able to bring it home third, bring home a podium for them guys. Made it well worth a 1,000-mile drive. It was very special, emotional weekend for me. Ricky Bilderback, somebody I've always looked up to. That was his car I was driving. I had this car painted up for tonight, and we whipped their asses with it. So that's pretty cool. Thanks to Ricky for letting me drive his car last week. Hopefully we get to do it again soon. Yeah, man. I mean, it's pretty cool. I'm extremely happy to put this thing in victory lane tonight. It's awesome. I feel like we could have done it regardless of the attrition, the yellows, all the stupid crap that was happening tonight. The O2 car was still the one to beat. Matt Vade and these guys run a great league. They're about to tighten the ship up. I don't care if we start 15 cars for the rest of the year. Let's just get the guys that know how to race together, and we'll go at it. Thank you guys for your patience tonight. Hopefully you guys don't have to deal with something like this again with all these cautions.
Alex, if I had a dollar for every time, this is more normal than people want to think, and it's still good racing on those restarts. You made it happen, so hopefully we'll talk to you again next week after another win.
All right, thank you guys.
So that was Alex Pepini. Next, we have our second place finisher, Mr. Anthony Donta. Anthony, congratulations on the second place finish.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. And thanks to all you guys that do the broadcast, and Matt for putting this on. I know we've been having some issues with the yellows, and hopefully we get that straightened out. But it's a fun league to race with, and a lot of good guys in here.
Absolutely. It happens to the best of them. I know you guys are hard on yourselves, but honestly, it's good racing nonetheless, and see those restarts. To speak about, you were lights out on the restarts on double file, and that's what brought you up there. Tell us about the race from your cockpit and how you got up there to second.
Yeah, the start of the race, I was trying to be respectful, and it cost me a few spots, and I just pitted a little earlier than I wanted to. And like you said, I got lucky on the one restart. My lane went, and it got me 4 or 5 spots. And I just, for one time this season, it seemed like every restart I was able to pick one off. And once we got around the top 6 or 7 guys, everyone raced super clean, and we were able to run hard and not have to worry about wrecking each other. So it was a good time. And congratulations to Alex. Did a hell of a job. It's hard on those late restarts when you're single file to get a good jump with them. So I knew my work was going to be cut out for us. I was hoping we went green that last 20 laps. That last yellow kind of hurt me a little bit, but like I said, all in all, good run.
Absolutely. Well, tell us who you got on that 051 and who you want to shout out that helps you get it done.
I just give a shout out, like I said the last time, to my girlfriend. She keeps the boys in check while I'm playing video games here for 3-4 hours on a Monday night. So I appreciate what she does, and once again, appreciate you guys for doing this on Mondays with us.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you, man, and good luck. Hopefully we'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good. Thanks.
And Matt, I believe you have our third place finisher, Mr. Jeremy Bingham. Jeremy, congratulations.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad to be talking to you guys finally this year.
Hey, we're glad to be talking to you. Walk us through that wild one out there on the racetrack tonight. You certainly had to do a lot of ducking and dodging and keeping that car clean, but you did it. How did you get it done?
Oh, I was using as much patience as I could. Tell you what, it wasn't easy. There was all kinds of mayhem going on, but I kept her clean and brought home a 3rd place. We got 2 Ricky Bilderback paint schemes in the top 3. That's pretty good. Nice tribute to a legend at Rockford Speedway.
Yeah, well said indeed. So quarter series championship, you come home 3rd, you get the podium spot. Anything you could have done different on all those restarts is you were trying to find a way to dethrone Papini. Anything you could have done differently now that you've had a chance to think about it, or was he just that good on the initial go?
Yeah, he was just too fast for me. I couldn't run with him, but I think in a long run I could have run with him, but we had so many restarts and it just wasn't happening for me there.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I know it probably had to get frustrating for you and others at times, as it seems like you guys couldn't even really get going, but you survive, you're alive, you come home P3. Who do you want to thank who helps you get it done on the 17, man?
Well, I'd like to thank Matt Vade for putting this deal on for us. Plus, he painted the car up for me, and it looks good. I tell you what. Other than that, just my wife and kid for letting me do this on Mondays.
See, you got a Pontiac there too. Hey, I respect that. It's a slick.
Oh yeah,
race
bringing
car.
the excitement.
Hey, ask James. I use that line all the time, buddy.
Oh yeah, I've heard it a couple times.
But that's a slick paint scheme, fast race car. Your 3rd place finisher tonight comes home P3. That is Jeremy Bingham. James, back to you.
Yeah, that's going to do it for us here. As far as the results of the championship, I do believe that Corey Rogers has that Q1 championship to add to his accolades. You see back there coming off the page from Medford, New York. But folks, that's going to do it for us. We're going to go ahead and throw up our race results for the feature. There is going to be Alex Papini, Anthony Donta, Jeremy Bingham, Justin Blackbeard, Ethan Wolf, top 5. 6 is going to be Zach Coyer, Corey Rogers, Tristan Swanson, Kenneth Storkson, and Michael Berner coming back from the last chance qualifier there in 10th. That's a good finish. Austin Diamore and Steve Wright going to be the last cars in 11th and 12th on the lead lap. There we go. Wally Wilson is in 13th. Unfortunately, could not recover from that single car incident. Brett McCoy 14th. Aaron Hicks 15th. Trent Smith in 16th with Gleason Smith right behind. Avery Linrod's in 18 with Dalton Collins in 19. Rick Ward's in 20. 21st, Christian Angel. Matt Vadi in 22nd. Jaden Dahlberg 23rd. Ed Papanow in 24th. Zachary Beeler and Randy Sargent rounding out the field. So, folks, we appreciate the heck out of you for joining us here for the All-Pro Sim. All-Pro Sim Super Late Model Q1 Championship in the books. And as always, guys, hopefully we'll talk to you next week.